Hey there, and welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving into a book called Unshakable Faith by Quinn Silver. And let me tell you, it takes a core idea about belief that we all kind of take for granted, and it flips it completely on its head. The book suggests that the very thing we think makes faith weak might actually be its greatest strength. So, let's get into it. So, right out of the gate, the book hits us with this really powerful idea. It says that a truly strong, resilient faith, it's not about never having any doubts. It's not about pushing them down or pretending they don't exist. Nope, it's built on the courage to actually face your doubts, to wrestle with them, and to own them as a real part of your journey. This one idea right here changes everything. All right, so let's first talk about what the book calls the myth of certainty. This is that assumption most of us grow up with. The idea that to have a strong faith, you have to have it all figured out. No questions, no gray areas, and definitely, absolutely no doubt. But is that what faith is really all about? I mean, this is how we're usually taught to see it, right? It's a simple black and white picture. Faith is on one side. It's certainty, belief, and strength. And on the other side, you've got doubt. That's uncertainty, questions, and weakness. They're pitted against each other, like it's a battle to the death, where one has to win and the other has to be destroyed. And here is where the book just stops you in your tracks. It asks this simple but profound question. What if this entire way of thinking, this whole faith versus doubt setup, isn't just a little bit off, but completely and fundamentally wrong? What if we've been looking at this whole thing backwards? And that leads us to the book's central, game-changing idea. What if doubt isn't the enemy you have to defeat? What if it's actually a companion for the journey? The author makes this incredible case that instead of tearing faith down, doubt, when you actually engage with it, can lead to a belief that's so much deeper and stronger than you ever thought possible. So we have to redefine the word. Doubt isn't a sign that you're failing or compromising. The book argues it's an absolutely essential part of growing. It's kind of like working out. The muscle soreness isn't a sign that you're getting weaker, it's proof that you're building strength. By trying to avoid doubt, we're not protecting our faith, we're actually keeping it from ever getting truly strong. The book shows that doubt isn't a dead end. It's actually the starting pistol for a powerful chain reaction. See, doubt makes you ask questions. Those questions push you to explore, to dig deeper, to really search for answers. And that exploration, that's what leads to a much richer, more personal understanding. So you see, doubt isn't the opposite of faith. It's the engine that makes it move forward. Now, of course, none of this happens in a bubble. A huge part of the book is about how we navigate belief right now, in the 21st century, with all the unique and intense challenges that are constantly fueling our doubt. And the book lists pressures that, let's be honest, we all feel. You've got the rise of secular viewpoints, the never-ending noise and influence of social media. We're exposed to countless clashing beliefs from all over the globe, and even the dynamics within our own families are changing. It's a really complex world to hold on to faith in. But here's that twist again. The book says these things aren't necessarily faith killers. Instead, we should see them as arenas. They're the testing grounds where our faith gets put through its paces, where it's refined, and where it's hammered into something that can actually withstand pressure. It's the friction that can turn a brittle belief into a truly resilient one. Okay, so if doubt is a useful tool and the modern world is our training ground, how do we actually do this? How do we build this kind of unshakable faith? Well, the book is really clear that it's an active process. It's not some destination you magically arrive at one day. And this quote from the book, man, it's just heartbreaking because it points to this hidden tragedy. So many people walk away from their faith communities not because they found a reason to disbelieve, but because they never found a safe space to ask their honest questions. When you suppress doubt, it doesn't just disappear, it isolates the doubter. So what's the solution? It's about building healthier faith environments. The book lays out these building blocks. It means creating spaces where tough, honest questions are actually welcomed, not shot down. It means finding real, authentic community where you can be vulnerable. And for leaders, it means showing compassion for people with doubts instead of judgment. So where does all of this lead us? It leads to a totally new, and I think much healthier, definition of what it actually means for a faith to be unshakable. The book has some really harsh words for what it calls phony faith, and it uses this incredible phrase, a tower of pretended moral superiority.
This is that faith that's all for show, acting like you have all the answers and looking down on anyone who's still searching. The author says this isn't strength, it's a fragile facade that ends up hurting people.
And that really sets up this powerful contrast. On one side, you have a fragile faith. It runs from doubt, it pretends to be certain about everything, and because it's never tested, it just stagnates. But on the other side, you have the kind of unshakable faith the book is talking about. It engages doubt head-on, it embraces questions, and because of that, it just keeps growing stronger.
And that brings us to the book's beautiful final point. An unshakable faith is not a faith that has no doubts. It's a faith that has been through doubt and come out the other side. It's been tested by hard questions, it's been refined by uncertainty, and it's become more authentic and more resilient because of that struggle, not in spite of it.
So, we'll leave you with this. The book isn't just giving us information, it's giving us an invitation. It's inviting us to stop being so afraid of our questions and to start seeing them as potential allies. So the final thought is for you. What are the questions you've been pushing down or avoiding? And what if, just what if, they're the very things that could lead you to a stronger and more honest journey?